So what do you think about the whole concept, Russ versus Russ, kind of fighting off the complacency, not the complacency, but making sure you keep this rhythm going into the next series?
No, that's why we were just going up and down. Just try to stay in the rhythm. Not sure when we're going to play, but make sure that we stay focused and locked in, and like I said, keeping the rhythm. So that's all it really is.
Is it kind of insulting when people say that what the Pelicans did was great, everything from this point on is like house money and gravy? Is that kind of almost insulting when people say?
I don't care what people say. We know what we're capable of. We're a good team, great team actually, who deserve to be here. So just gonna go out there and just continue to do what we've been doing.
You guys talked a lot about in the first round just being slept on. You feel like you still are?
No, for sure. People still don't give us the credit that we deserve, but we don't really care about all the white noise. We go out here, compete, play to the best of our ability, and try to win games, and let the rest of it take care of itself.
Is it hard? Is overlooked at all in the scheme of what you guys do, just because his numbers might not match?
He's not a emotional guy. When he got into it with CJ, that's probably the most emotional I've ever seen him. He's real under the radar guy. He just go out there and play. So, guys like that tend to get overlooked. It's the same way Drew was, until he started showing emotion. So, it seems like the emotional guys always get the looks, but each one's been great for our team this year.
When did you guys become a great team, do you think, Anthony?
I think when we figured out how to play without DeMarcus, it was tough. We were still learning when he was here. We were still in that early stage, trying to figure how to close games, how to play for each other, defensive assignments, and we started to figure out before he got hurt. I think we won probably 4 or 5 in a row, something like that, before he went down. So we started to figure it out, and then when he went down, we had to change everything again. I think after we probably won that 10 in a row, or through that stretch, we kind of figured that we can beat any team in this league, and we had that mindset from here on out.
How happy were you to see Coach's option get picked up, and how big has he been, during the stretch getting you guys to this point?
He's been huge. He keep us level-headed. He makes sure that we don't get too high, we don't get too low, with wins and losses. But for him to know he's going to be here again, it's huge for us, huge for me. It's exciting. He's been through the lowest of the lowest with us, and I think it's the best we've ever been since I've been here. So going to the second round, so he's here. So he got that championship mentality. Great coach. So we're happy that he gets to be here for another year.
Do you ever hear him get booed or anything like that in starting lineups, or guys yelling at him behind the bench? He's mentioned it a little bit, that they're harder on him than players sometimes. The coach. Did you ever hear any of that stuff?
Nah, I never heard it.
Because they stopped doing his name during the starting lineups.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that. I didn't pay attention. That's crazy.
As far as the matchup, you got potentially one of the best teams in NBA history with championship pedigree in San Antonio, or the defending champs. Do you have a preference as far as who you potentially would like to match up against?
No. Like I said, it's not really about them. We focus on what we can do. So whoever we play, we're just going to go out there and try to compete, try to find a game plan that works, and go from there. But at the end of the day, it's about what we can do. We keep defending and playing the way we play on offensive end, moving the basketball, playing for each other. It doesn't matter who we go up against.
But is there something special, maybe more for Golden State, since they swept y'all last time and they've won 2 or 3 championships?
Ago. Yeah. 3 years ago, man. We're a different team. I'm a different player, different coaching staff. Everything's different. So that's in the past. We worry about that.
Anthony, with how Rondo's bounced around over the last couple of years, did you feel like when you could notice a difference that when he came here, he kind of breathed life back into his career at all, or just the feeling of having people around him, that could really make a run at a championship at all?
He's a special player. With all the stuff that I heard, with him in Dallas and Sack and all that stuff, I didn't really see it when he first got here. Well, I didn't see it at all, but I understand what people are talking about. And then, of course, talking to him as we got closer, joking about the stuff in Dallas and stuff like that. He kind of shedded some light on it and what really happened. So he's a great guy. He wants to win. He wants to play hard. He wants to be a champion again. and he's making me better and the whole team better since he's been here.
Could you relate, like, on a certain level from, some of those, because obviously he had, great years with Boston where they're on championship teams, and then, to go through lulls where you're just on a team where the ceiling just doesn't seem that high, and you recognize that. I mean, did you guys relate on a level at all with certain years here in New Orleans where?
No, we never talked about that. He always just tried to push me to be great, but we never, talked about, his previous years somewhere else as far as teams and, what he tried to do to be successful on those teams and stuff like that. It's always just been focused on that.
He had spoke to the meeting you guys had in Kentucky, I believe, or at Kentucky.
I don't remember Kentucky. Yeah, it's so long ago. Not that I can remember. If he did, I probably wasn't paying attention.
Was
to
it
him.
this past summer?
Kentucky?
Y'all met
Yeah.
in Kentucky, though, right?
Yeah,
that was kind of when y'all first recognized, like,
Our
something
team.
special could be, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Any other time, we have someone workouts. Some of the team comes, some doesn't, for their own personal reasons. But I think everybody came. I think except Solo because he was going through his hamstring. But everybody came down, and we had a great workout. And we knew from that point that we got a chance to be a special team.
Not all coaches really give players the latitude to be who they are, and that's not necessarily wrong. They're just more system-oriented. Where would you say Alvin falls in that spectrum?
He gave you something for Rondo.
Any player.
He gives all the players a lot of freedom. He trusts his players. He's a player's first coach. But when it's time to lock in or you see us messing around or something like that, he gets on us. But he gives us a lot of freedom to do what we want, trusting that we're going to come in and take care of business.
Has it been funny at all just to see all the extra attention Drew has been getting since the way he played in that first series? Kind of the ESPN interviews, he's got memes all over social media and stuff. How people are kind of noticing him now more than ever.
Nah, it's not weird for me because I know what type of player he's been since he's been here. But I think this has been a great year for him. People really starting to notice. Of course, we didn't have too many TV games, so you don't really get to see us and see Drew. But now we play on TV all the time. In the playoffs, and he's doing the same thing. People starting to recognize him.
Anthony, what has brought this new side of Drew, out of him? Is it just his play? Is it something that guys have been trying to talk to him about?
That's a Drew question. I have no idea where that came from. Talking smack to the fans, I've never seen it. So
do you like it?
I love it. If he can keep getting 40 for us, and I'll make him mad every game. So I love it. But I think I think everybody just recognizes what type of team we have, and realizing that we can be something special. So it just brings a lot out of everybody.
There's a lot of people who've been saying they feel like you could be the best player in the NBA right now. With where your game is this the highest level you feel like you've played at throughout your career?
I think so. Putting a lot of work, trying to become a better player. I think the leadership part of it helped me a lot. Being able to get on guys, get on Rondo, get on Drew, and even when Cuz was playing, get on Cuz, and had to realize that these guys actually want to be led. So if I just get on them, they'll listen. It's not where, maybe they were somewhere else and somebody get on them and they say something to their team or whatever. These guys actually, want me to lead them. So trusting that and being able to do that has helped me a lot as a player and just going out there and just playing basketball.
Did once Cousins got hurt and you kind of moved to, I guess kind of a hybrid 4-5, were you hesitant at all to make that move based on past experiences? And if so, did it turn into kind of a positive this
I wasn't hesitant. I just tried to go out there and play the way I played before DeMarcus got here. I played a lot of 5 previous years and figured that's probably what I had to do before they would go get Emeka and let me go back to the 4 and then me and Nico switch off here and there. But I felt like it was a great opportunity for our entire team to pick up the slack where DeMarcus when he got hurt and just try to go out there and play. Everybody had to step up and everybody's been doing so.